Today I want to show you the first advanced knot that I ever learned. This one is called the End Line Prusik, and I've actually tied this one with an overhand safety as well. So I actually learned this knot before I learned the traditional Prusik that you would tie with a loop instead. My father taught me this when I was 12 years old. We were using this knot in combination with another knot in order to make a makeshift safety harness. Now these days you couldn't get away with that. These days in commercial you have industrial rope catches like this one that's designed for 5/8, where you tie your harness in here, and this goes on either 5/8 or 3/4 rope. And then you can see the mechanism down there that will grab the rope, so in the event that you fall, it catches and keeps you from falling. Now the Prusik group or family of knots are designed to be tied onto another rope. And one thing to keep in mind with the Prusiks is that the line that you use to tie your Prusik has to be smaller than that of the safety line that you're using. In our case, we were using 3/4 with a 1/2 inch for the Prusik. Now they generally say about 3 to 6 millimeters in size difference, so roughly an 1/8 inch to 1/4 of an inch in overall diameter. That the Prusik line has to be smaller than that of your safety line. Let me show you how this one is tied. So because the diameter of my pipe is larger than what you would traditionally tie this to, I'm going to have to come back a little bit further on the rope. So I'm coming back about 4.5 feet or so, and that's where we're going to start making our wraps. So what we want to do is we want to start off by making 3 consecutive wraps going to the right. So there's 1, 2, and 3. We'll make sure that all those lines all those wraps are nice and parallel. Then at this point we're going to cross over our standing end, and we're going to do 3 more consecutive wraps starting from the left and working towards the center, but we're going to tie them in the opposite direction. We're going to go underhand this time. So there's 1, there we go, 2, and 3. So what we want to end up with is 6 parallel bars. Now at this point we want to dress this knot up a bit, snug it up a bit. Now what we're going to do to finish this off is we're going to tie what's called the snap bow line. It's the bow line knot using what's called the snap method. So to do this, we want to take the standing end, and you want to grab it and think of this like you're turning the ignition on your car to form a small loop. So we'll just make a small overhand loop. Then we're going to take the standing end and we're going to push a loop up through that loop that we just formed. Now we can take the working end of the rope, go around the back side here, and then we're going to pinch it off on itself. Now at this point, all we have to do is just pull back on the standing end, and this loop will flip over, and that will form your bow line. Now at this point, you can just finish this off with an overhand knot as a stopper just for safety, and that finishes out your End Line Prusik. This is actually the knot that really started my fascination with the things that you can do with rope if you know how to tie certain knots. I hope that maybe you guys can use this one day. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.